ask, how did you manage to pull off getting Tom Welling?
So sneaky.
I'm in awe. Thank you.
Right?
I know. Thank us. Thank us.
Thank God. You're
Because we're happy.
yeah. Oh my God. So when I first came out to LA, you write spec scripts. You write scripts of shows to show that you can write. Smallville was the first spec I ever wrote. So I've been a long-time fan, and I've also, through that, I knew what he could do. You see all of the range of acting chops he has. So we're excited. I think the reason that we were able to get him is because this is a role very different from what he has played before, and it lets us show that off.
Yeah, you're not going to see the mild-mannered Clark Kent at all. He's fair. He's got a little edge.
Yeah, he got a little chip on that shoulder.
An edge.
One of the great things is you guys are able to do that kind of thing because, and when we had you on our show, even before the pilot aired, you talked about the writer's room and how you hired people from all different backgrounds. So Ildy, maybe you can touch on that as well. Yeah. How are you able to transform these characters into something that just works so well, not just in the comedic sense, but in the dramatic sense too?
I think a really big part of it was approaching the characters from, like, it would have been really easy to make Dan just Lucifer's nemesis. It's much more interesting to explore an unlikely friendship. It's been really easy to make Chloe and Maze completely loggerheads. Much more interesting to stick them in the room together, have them live together, and find friendship. Conflicted friendship, difficult friendship. But a big part of it is taking these characters, pushing them really hard, seeing if they break, but more importantly, seeing how they bend, seeing how they grow and learn. And that's, I think, from our histories, like how we dealt with adversity, how we dealt with issues. Like, a lot of times you end up becoming friends with the person you never expected. And that's something we really play with.
The show really is about duality and the dark and light and walking that fine line. So every single character, Maze is a good example of, okay, demon, and she could just be this kind of, I just want to kick people's asses and torture them, and that's all I want to do.
We should do that. That's actually good.
And then when we put her with Linda,
yes.
and this kind of magical, surprising, almost, I'm getting chills. The sweetest relationship, the sweetest friendship, and I guess we do just try to explore stories that and relationships that we just experience. It doesn't. Yeah, he's the devil. Yeah, she's a demon. It doesn't matter. That we just.
And we have a cast that humanizes that, and that's just really, really wonderful.
So in the last season, we saw a lot of episodes where you were doing the pairing two people together for the first time, and even down to the end, you seeing like Dan and Lucifer's brother, and and seeing the fun of that. So going into the third season, you've explored a little bit of those. Like, how do you expand on that? How do you take those things that have worked well and kind of bend them and break them in new ways?
That's a great question.
Well, like in the premiere, actually, we do. We're like, what haven't we put together yet? And what would that be like? In the premiere episode, we have Ella and Amenadiel they have a lovely little scene together, and because we realized they haven't really met. Amenadiel's come to the precinct every now and again, but they haven't met, and they have this because she's the woman of faith, and she actually sort of helps him remember what faith is. And it takes this quirky little scientist to kind of remind God's favorite son what faith is.
And when it comes to the mix and matching, I think our challenge is playing with that dynamic and then moving the characters on a journey so the next time they're paired up, it's a completely different dynamic. Like, that's the fun of it. So, like, for example, Maze and Lucifer used to be together all the time. Season 2, we very intentionally drove them apart. And then, ironically, in the second to last episode, Maze and Lucifer being together was weird. It was a weird duo because it had been so long and because they were in such different places. And that's the challenge, is you almost gotta wait, okay, like, where are they now in their lives that this all of a sudden becomes a whole new toy to play with? Good. Guys, lightning round.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.